Good time zone. And a happy birthday to all of those around the world. We're here with Act or Die. An event I am completely unprepared for. The wiki says Crimson Solitaire is indeed a prequel. I wasn't sure when this was supposed to be taking place. So yeah, we'll see. I'm sure they'll explain the necessary things. Probably. I hope, at least. That's all I really can do. But we've got Phantom Altar, who's a supporter, actually. I did not know that. Big difference from being a quick redeploy. One of the best operators, huh? I'll take your word for it. Does he do nervous impairment? What is he? A ritualist? Yeah. Does he do nervous impairment? He does. Cool. That's cool. Well, I already have Arturia, who's a more interesting character as far as I'm concerned. Phantom's just another one of many Arknights' sad boys. In fact, he's the OG sad boy. I have to update the game. Maybe if I mean, maybe Act or Die will make me interested in Phantom. You never know. It's happened before. Also, is he the first alter character whose name isn't... who just has a different name entirely? Well, I guess Siege is just Vina Victoria. That's a different name entirely. The second alter character. I think... I think that's it. Just those two. Oh, I guess there's Wishido. I guess that is another name entirely as well. We're almost there. It's almost loaded. Bam. Act or die. I got some new skins. New modules. Wait, was one of them Mudrock? No, why is Mudrock's listed here? I don't know. Why are all these people listed all of a sudden? The ones we got is Azcalon. Azcalon's new module, which I don't know anything about. Deals damage to all target, 65% chance to dodge. Reduces speed by 18%. And will take 10% of attack as arch damage for 25 seconds, up to 3 times. Recovers 10% HP. As opposed to... the same talent actually, but this one doesn't recover HP. Interesting. It also has the more dodge. Doesn't have the slow. Probably stick with this one. I don't know why everyone else is listed all of a sudden. Unless I never did it on... I should have, like last event, should have clicked on these guys here. It's strange. Anyway. A couple of big updates since the last time. Obviously, we had Vector, which I just couldn't stream, but I did everything. I got all the medals. Yay. Trimmed metal as well. All out effort wasn't too bad. Special front stuff, there was some interesting things I ended up having to do for some of the characters. Got to use someone. Got to use Ling. Got to use Schweier, and had to upgrade Executor Alter for this one. Used 10-man. Had to upgrade Blaze Alter for this one. That's right. I upgraded Blaze Alter. The point of order. Blaze is now E2. Use skill 2 is now M3. Lemuin's skill 2 is now M3, so I'm M6 with her. Not M6 or anything with Exia. Was there anyone else? No, I don't think so. Beeswax got English voice lines.
Beeswax. 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 Okay. I should get used to it after reading it a few more times. Oh, Doctor, do you need something? I'm just trying to get used to hearing my code name, so I don't fail to react and get made fun of when others call me.
Nice. Arnelian also got it.
I can confirm we received this shipment of medicine without issues. The quantities are right. As for the payments, could you please let Calcit know I'll take care of that pain-in-the-neck mission for her?
Nice. Ostema, apparently.
The marketplaces of Lungmen, the suburbs of Ursus, the ancient ruins of Victoria. Doctor, these lands hold countless beautiful sights, but very few people ever slow down and take them all in.
There's a little bit of, I guess, scratchiness there. Not as intense as I give her, but there's a little bit there. Oh, Viviana got top record. Nice. Utage got a voice, which I'm very interested in.
Nails are part of a girl's appeal. Gotta take good care of them. Why do I call myself Butage? Well, it's not that complicated. It means party in Higashinis, and I just want to live my life like it's a party every night. If I'm in a good mood, everything else is gonna be okay. If you're tired, just go to bed. Not that complicated.
Not that complicated.
Who should I cut? Wanna go sing karaoke?
She's got a pretty heavy accent.
Good morning, doctor. Time to go. Do I get work less after I get promoted? No dice. Oh well.
Fountain. Wow, a lot of people got English today.
I've met plenty who claim to practice martial arts. Most are posers who lack substance. Not waifu. She's an interesting one. Although her training is not yet complete, I look forward to sparring with her once she's ready.
That's a deep voice.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to feel my new technique. Aren't techniques meant to be conceived, you say? Not for me. I just need to quiet down and feel it with my heart. When the time comes, my technique will naturally unfold on my blade. The air here is nice and cool. Hey you, move over a bit. Let me lie down for a while too.
Also a pretty heavy Japanese accent. We're going heavy with the Higashinis apparently. Erato. Whose voice actor's name is their last name is Greco. They were made for the role, apparently.
Whether in harpistry or archery, my skill is second to none in all of Minos. Look, this is the medal I won in hymnic archery. Panemorpho, isn't it? Proof of my skills as a harpist? Several troops have asked me to accompany them, and that tells a story, don't you agree? What? You may as well be seated then. I will have my heart do the talking.
Nice. Andriana, the one we always forget about.
Monica sure has a weird taste. Did you know she thought about using things like Seer or Baker as her code name? Incandescent sounds about normal now, yeah?
Ah yes, Incandescence, the operator who doesn't exist. Also sounds good. They've got the Azkaban outfit, the one that got into controversy for utilizing like stolen assets or something. It's certainly an interesting design. I don't think it's cooler than her normal outfit though, so I don't think I'll get it. Also, I just realized her horns and tail are a different color. Like, did she paint her horns?
Don't trouble yourself trying to figure me out. Even the old you couldn't manage it. Remember, it's my own choice to vanish from your sight. With my duty fulfilled, I won't be interfering with Rhodes Island's future plan.
It is
But
from
when you need
the
me, I'll be there.
iteration from Decision Point F30192226, which is like the fantasy reality skin series with like fairies and stuff. It's the same one that like Blue Poison has one. I think Texas's Dragon Slaying one is also that, I think. Lucilla's skin. Forgot Lucilla's character. It's pretty nice though. Do I have Lucilla? I must have Lucilla. Highmore skin. Her scythe is just like a spine or rib cage. That's crazy. I do like that too. What is he normally look like? Oh yeah. Yeah, I do like that skin. I might get that. Lucilla. Do I have Lucilla? I guess I don't actually. Well, there you go. I guess she was on the banner and I didn't pull for Ulpianus, so that makes sense. Buy the furniture, because I'm gonna buy all the furniture now, forever. And then I also did the Annihilation that I didn't realize was out, but I did do that. That took 2 tries. I leaked at like in the 350s. I leaked one. So then I just auto deployed until I got to that point, and then I fixed it. The mummies, the big mummies, they do hit hard. Forgot how hard they hit. Oh, actually, before we go in here. Actor died. Yes, that's very nice. I actually do want to see what he does, because I actually don't know. Tragodia. It looks less like a sad boy now. I guess that's good. Attacks deal 30% of attack as nervous impairment. Nervous impairment causes paralysis. Each stack of paralysis can interrupt an enemy when it attempts to perform a normal attack. Paralysis has limited duration when not consumed, but units with status resistance loses 1 stack every 5 seconds. Interrupts an enemy, so it prevents them from attacking. That's pretty cool. Also, enemies under the burst effect have minus 20% attack speed, so that's also a good combination. Night Echoes. The next attack deals arch damage twice and binds the target. They receive more nervous impairment. Fair enough. Folia plus I'm not sure. Attack speed plus 35. Talent 1 splash area expands. Oh yeah, it does do attack to enemies around the target, okay. While skill is active, can deploy a Blood Whisper, which lures, cannot be blocked and move towards the target's position. Up to 4 enemies who enter its range, and can path it to it, prioritizing elites and leaders for 10 seconds after deployment. Once the first target arrives to the position, retreats and slows all surrounding enemies for 6 seconds, dealing arts damage and nervous impairment. Luring opponents. That's a new one. That's pretty cool. You can, yeah, it prioritizes leaders. That's pretty... That can be pretty powerful. And Le Tietra du Vide. Attack range expands. Attack plus 125%. Prioritizing enemies not under burst. Enemies that have received nervous impairment while skill is active take 10% attack as nervous impairment. Enemies within attack range have 50% plus 50% to their nervous impairment cooldown recovery rate. Enemies entering the burst effect of nervous impairment will generate/refresh a Cage of Chaos. What is a Cage of Chaos? Cage of Chaos. Cage blocks all enemies on its tile when created/refreshed. Disappears when not blocking a target or after receiving 3 attacks from a blocked target. Persists for an additional 30 seconds after Tragodia's skill ends. Got multiple summons, huh? Interesting. Blood Whispers is a little cat. There's the 4 enemies. Retreats and slows them, and then deals the damage. Multiple summon types. Yeah, I mean he's very different. Very different compared to the other ritualists. He's a logistics operator for battle records, huh? Yeah, I can see why he's powerful. His summon effects are pretty cool. And then we have Teepee, who's another jetpack. I did look up her stuff. Seems not too different from Contrail, so I assume probably just as good as Contrail, whom is really good actually. TP just has like a dodge. He's like a dodger. Although when you're in the air, that's not as important since people can't attack you. So I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure how that plays out exactly, but still pretty good. Game just stuttered there. That's concerning. Contrail seems better because she slows air. Well, in terms of fighting air, she might be better in that regard. But and I guess the dodge is useful for I guess the dodge would be useful for aerial enemies attacking them. But in terms of what they're really good at, which is just not taking damage and killing people on the ground, probably still about equal. Yeah, Contrail slows and attacks 2 enemies at once. 3 if one's a flying enemy. And TP has a dodge, and she hits 3 times in a row. So Contrail does have the double hit, which is still better for ground, but 3 hits isn't bad either. Attack bonuses are about the same. I think they're probably about equal. Although TP's attack range expands to behind her as well. And yeah, I guess Rock's here. Alright. Attack or die. Or act or die, not attack or die. Yeah, so I don't know what happens in Crimson Solitaire except for the fact that what the general plot line of Crimson Solitaire is that, okay, so Phantom used to be a member of this troupe, this like traveling circus troupe, who are actually secretly assassins. And they're all kind of crazy. And he left that and like joined Rhodes Island or whatever. And then Crimson Solitaire is that he gets like captured by them and is like forced to be Blood Diamond again. I think that's his name, right? Blood Diamond. And then we have to go rescue him, right? And that's all I really know about that. Apparently Act or Die is a sequel to that, so do we rescue him at the end? I assume he was rescued. Isn't he now like getting revenge? Is that what this is about? Been so long. It was a long time ago that it came out. Also, Shalem, who was the character released for Crimson Solitaire, was also a member of the troupe who also left. Oh. Gosh, wow, it goes back even further. So apparently, I'm on the wiki, we're just kind of reading what's happening here. So apparently, before Crimson Solitaire, we had Phantom went missing after he was reminded of his past, and that links me to Rewinding Breeze. This event, this vignette event, Rewinding Breeze, Crisscrossing Shadows. Phantom gets reminded of his past. And then I guess he goes missing after that. And that's what causes Crimson Solitaire. that's, I mean, I forgot this. I forgot he even had a vignette in this thing. It's been so long. They really waited. They really took their time with this one. Rewinding Breeze came out in the... Apparently it only came out in 2023, which is not as long as I would have thought. But still pretty long. I would have said like 21 or something, but apparently it's 23. So we send a rescue mission to this castle that the Crimson Troop are held up in to rescue Phantom, right? That's the thing. And back then, the story was told through, like, text messages between the operators. I remember that much. Most of the stuff that happens in the castle are like illusions because everything's using nervous impairment, right? That's like the whole thing, is everyone's going crazy. We fight Blood Diamond, right? Which is Phantom. Never beat him, ever. I could never do it. I beat no boss in Crimson Solitaire. And yeah, so we beat him, and the one of the endings is that, like, yeah, we free him, we rescue him. All is well. So, but now we're at Act or Die, so maybe he is like getting revenge or something. To incite a death. Bow and pay your respects to the eagerly awaiting audience. A fine show has already begun. He leaves the bed of withered flowers. They say it is a sign of a bountiful harvest, and some walked in the embrace of night. Some shared nectar before the bonfire, and some walked hand in hand, lost together where the story diverged. I remember this music. Shut the lips that sound the horn, he said. Close the eyes about to witness eternity, he said. Incite a young fowl to pick the fruit of pain. Exile an infant to arrive at joyful death. Weeds walk their own path. through tears, falsehoods, and riddles. He leaves the bed of withered flowers. He writes his epitaph into the stirring dust, waiting for the day when he gazes upon it. Lady Dupont still shut herself in her room. It's been 3 days, she's hardly touched her food. What shall we do? The way I see it, the madam is fretting over nothing. As heir to the Dupont family, Victoria's most noble lineage, she is both elegant and intelligent, and no one could fault her for choosing any of her 3 suitors. But that's exactly why she's so troubled. The 3 Rockefeller brothers may look like they come from the same handsome mold, but they each have wildly different personalities and occupations. Shout out to the Rockefellers. When a wise scholar, a brave soldier, and a romantic poet all ask for your hand at once, can you even imagine choosing which to spend your life with? Besides, whatever choice she makes is bound to bring great pain to the other 2. Why, the very thought of the bonuses we'll get when one of those millionaires moves in. Whatever choice she makes, I hope she chooses soon. How could you be so... Got... Director K? Quay? K? Oh, it's Steven. He's in one of the trailers where he doesn't get to talk at all. He's just there. Stiff as damned statues. Well, it's just exposition anyway. Might as well cut the scene and add a few symbolic empty shots later. Apparently Quay is actually... Well, there's a few different ways to pronounce it. K is not one of them. It's actually key. Oh no, K is one of them. Okay, never mind. Why is it spelt that way then? Whatever. Yeah, key or K. I'll go with K. That was my first instinct. They spelled K with an A on its own for the quote-unquote pronunciation, which that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Well, let's just hope our overzealous producer lady doesn't sweat the small stuff. You two take a break while we make some adjustment to the script. Actually, don't bother coming back for shooting. More adjustments? This guy can't make up his mind. Gosh. Alright, people. We're not taking a break just yet, so shut up already. Shut up! Yes, I know we've been shooting for 2 months, and everyone's tired, and the plate's far from the city center. And there are no casinos or shopping districts here, and everything at the self-service bar is undrinkable piss water. But... better or worse, this is our last week. Time is precious, and so is my film. The death of Lady Dupont is the kind of historical tragedy that they don't make in Wrankwood these days. We're outside of Wrankwood, exploring Columbia's changing times through the lens of a noblewoman's marriage. So I don't want it looking like some cheap cash grab when it finally hits theaters. Let's move on to the next run through. The death of Lady Dupont. Balcony, scene 3. Melanie and Michael, you're up. Wow, that's an outfit. What's the matter, Miss Rutherford? What do you think, boy? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have made a veteran like you wait a whole minute for me to get ready. Do you think I'm making a big deal out of nothing? Of course not. Alongside Marion Blake, you used to be one of the greatest actresses in Wrankwood. Seniority, status, etiquette. Hate them as much as you like deep down, but you will respect them on my set. I'm sorry if I offended you, ma'am. That guy is wearing like an undershirt under his button-up, but his button-up's opened, which is an interesting choice. So are we ready? I know it's not easy playing 3 different characters, but don't mix them up like you did last time. Have one actor playing 3 characters? That's wild. You're playing the second Rockefeller, the soldier. Is he playing all 3 brothers? That's wild. You're at Lady Dupont's manor, and I've just thrown away your older brother's flowers and torn up your younger brother's love letter. You're rushing into your beloved bedroom to pour your heart out. Silence, please. Action. I guess maybe if they're like identical triplets, it would make sense to use the same actor. Believe me, my love, my 2 brothers could never match my feelings for you. I've heard more than enough honeyed words, Mr. Rockefeller. Were I not the scion of Dupont, were our reunion to bring the Rockefellers no wealth or status in high society, would you still... You wound me. I'm no schemer. I mean every word I say. You know I'm not as smart or as sensitive as my brothers. How can I hope to move you if not through the sincerity of my feelings? And how will you prove it? I recently returned from the battlefield, where I brushed shoulders with death. When the shell burst right next to me, when I felt my body and my senses flying away, when I came close to death's door, all I could picture was your face, your smile. You have the next line, ma'am. Despicable. What? What kind of soldier would twist his face up like you did when speaking on the battlefield? You put so much honey in your words, you could stick a fly to the ground with it. I know you spent the last 2 months making moves on anything even vaguely female on this plate. Oh snap. But for God's sake, keep your private life off the set, boy. Not everyone will fall for a wiggle of your ears and a swoosh of your orange tail like that dumb blonde. The dumb blonde. Marion, what are you doing here? Why wouldn't the costume designer be on set for the run-through? I need to see if the costumes are in order. Or what? Don't tell me you also believe that gossip of the rest of the crew's been spreading. Right, of course. There's no problem. Moving on, Michael, your performance needs to fit the character better. Or it won't come across as sincere. Second Rockefeller's sincerity is the whole point. Without it, how can we possibly convince the audience that this is what pushes Lady Dupont to finally make her decision? You two can take a break a while, while we move on to the next one. Abner? I'm here. We need an evocative transition into the next scene. Gotcha. We'll move with the plan we talked about yesterday. Also, can you stay away from the metal rack? I'm worried the screws will scratch the camera. I can't tell if you're the winner of Wrankwood's Best Cinematography Award or the least professional cameraman in town. Why not both? What happened to you, man? No need to make a fuss out of it. As Lady Dupont and the second Rockefeller's conversation fades out, the camera pans away from the balcony. It moves down the steps, across a row of portraits and antique vases to the front hall draped with red curtains. The front door opens. The sound of wind and rain trespasses into the quiet manor. The camera follows and a black shadow enters the frame. Mysterious and elegant creature. What the hell is that black shadow? Is it a ghost, a prop, a hallucination, somebody's friedkin pet? The heck's a friedkin? Or freedkin? Do none of you idiots realize what kind of havoc an animal like this could wreak on the film set? Grab it, Abner. Don't let it mess with the camera rails on the ground. With what hands? Or do you want me to smash the damned camera? It went your way, Marion. I don't have any free hands either. And are you prepared to take responsibility if the costumes get wrinkled? The producer would have a fit. Someone stop it. The mysterious and elegant creature darts through the set, weaving between the wires and delicate equipment laid out on the ground. Its two tails moving this way and that, its cries are heard up and down the crowd. Stop painting that background and catch that thing, TP. And you there, the prop intern. Her name's Moira. Moira. Forget it, TP. You're like way too nice, Molly. You can't let people walk all over you. Who cares? Just catch that thing. I mean, obviously TP's got fun hair, but I actually like, Molly, was it? I like Molly's hair. It stopped. There's too many. We got Molly, Moira, and Marion. Which one was Moira again? And Melanie and Michael. There's a lot of M's here. Oh wait, Moira is Molly. That's confusing. Okay. Her name's Moira, but then she calls her Molly. I'm already confused. Okay. Okay, we're good. I get it now. Molly's the nickname. I see. Well, aren't you a cutie? You're even more mysterious than that monster in that horror flick I saw last night. Mind if I use you as a reference for the street scene? Christine is not amused. The mysterious and elegant creature settles onto the prop box, looking up at the two girls with what seems to be displeasure. Moira can't help but bend down and reach out to it, but as she looks into its clear blue eyes, she feels her mind go blank. The next moment, the creature has vanished from the set. Finally. How could you idiots let it get away from right under your noses? Now, Marion. I'm the one you're mad at. No need to take it out on newcomers. You... If you're going to argue, take it outside. Or better yet, off the plate. After all, no one expects professionalism out there. Greta. Back to work, people. I thought you'd be more upset about the shoot being delayed. I'm not that harsh, Steven. Besides, her appearance on set means we're in for a wonderful surprise when it's time to shoot. Her? Wait, you mean that creature? Who else? She's the companion of a guest of mine, and her showing up means that he's finally made up his mind. He'll play the messenger who appears in the next scene. Isn't that right, Lucian? As you wish. Miss Christine is free. None may interfere with her intentions or actions. I apologize on her behalf. Hold up. We're making a last-minute cast change just for some pretty boy no one's heard of? It's only a minor role. No need to feel threatened, my handsome lead man, Michael. And it's not out of nowhere. Greta gave me the heads up earlier. Fine. I'm glad you made your decision, Lucian. Film is a very different beast from stage, so I understand why you need to take your time thinking it over. But that costume fits you so well. I was right to invite you. I guarantee you'll be the next big thing in Wrankwood. I can only hope. Well, we've delayed long enough. If the actors are ready, let's get on with the run-through. I take it you've got your lines down, Lucian? I could recite them backwards. Alright then. The death of Lady Dupont, front hall, scene 4, action. As the second Rockefeller pours his heart out to Lady Dupont on the balcony, a young messenger from afar pushes open the front door. Hello. He's welcomed by Lady Dupont's brother, who's always seems to have a lot on his mind. Oh, for God's sake, where's Sir Dupont? Dalton! God damn it, Dalton. Where the Hitchcock has he run off to this time? Drinking again? Where's my coordinator? Shelley? We're here. Thank goodness, I found him. I brought Dalton. A lot of great character designs in this already. Drunken eyes. Hiccups. I realized he was missing when I took a head count at the waiting area. I searched every food cart, service bar, and outdoor area, anywhere that might have booze. I finally found him in some bushes by the road. Knife? I found the knife. He said he was looking for the knife prop that the messenger is supposed to kill Sir Dupont with. So which one of you sent a drunk to go hunt down a prop? Where's the prop master, Moira? I don't know. Fine, whatever, as long as we've got the prop. Okay, but he's drunk. Should you check it to make sure that's not a real knife he grabbed? I see this happening going terribly already. Costume crew, get his clothes in order. You do remember what you're playing in this scene, right? Of course. Nobody does it better. Pathetic. What'd you say? I'm sorry, but I simply can't stand people like you. You used to be the darling of Wrankwood when Pioneer films were in their heyday. Producers were queuing up to book you. And now you're just going to let yourself rot like mud in a pit? What do you know? I couldn't care less what you've been through, but at least show a shred of self-respect in front of the younger generation. That's one of the rules of Wrankwood, too. You're playing opposite a man who's standing in front of a camera for the first time. Fine. What was your name? Lucian. You may also call me Phantom. Whatever. Sorry, kid. Didn't know this was your first shoot, but don't worry. Just follow my lead. I can play this role hammered, no problem. I'm gonna try to kill you to shut you up, because the news you brought. We get to scuffling, and then you grab this knife and stab me with it. It's a prop. So the blade will just slide into the handle. I got a blood bag in my chest pocket. It'll pop with just a little pressure. I hope it's a prop. Just don't get stuck with thinking when I'm gonna grab the knife or you won't get in character, got it? You've read through the letter 3 times now, Sir Dupont. If there's no issue with it, please assemble everyone in the household so I can read it to them. Dalton's eyes meet the young man's, and he swallows the drunken hiccup that had reached to the front of his throat. He sees not a rookie actor on a film set for the first time, but a messenger who had come all the way from Victoria, his gaze tired but strong. The studio falls silent. Director K has yet to call action, but Dalton can feel his counterparts focus, and Abner's camera points towards them. He is looking at a natural. And so he takes a deep breath. No, this is an official letter from Victoria's royal house. I cannot let you read it aloud. I like that they're just reusing all the Crimson Solitaire music. If people were to hear that the Dupont bloodline is all a lie, that my sister's marriage to any of the Rockefellers will be called off. All that wealth, all that money that should have been mine, my very future, all gone in an instant like popping a balloon. Can't you just leave, boy? Pretend you were never here. I'll give you money. I'll give you all the money you want. You have no authority over me. You're just a messenger. What part of this has anything to do with you? The truth. What? True. What happens to this household has nothing to do with me, but I've got something to do with the truth, sir. Even if I turned around and left right away, the truth of the DuPont family will still have kicked open your door forevermore. I have no power to take away your misfortune. All I can do is announce it's coming, whether you're willing to face it or not. For such is my wretched fate. Dalton looks into the young man's eyes and sees the deep pain and sorrow within. Suddenly he feels like he has never been so sober. He does not need to recall his lines, they come to him naturally. Pain, sorrow, laughable. Who do you think you are? Dalton pulls his knife and swings at the young man. Sir Dupont and the young messenger fight over the deadly weapon. It takes only a moment for it to change hands, their actions as coordinated as if they had rehearsed it 1,000 times. Pain. Sorrow. Laughable. Who do you think you are? I will not let you ruin what should be mine. As I said, sir, my only connection here is to the truth. From the noble halls of Victoria, to the ruins of Gaul, to the Basilica of Laterano, to the coastline of Iberia, I've walked all 4 corners of Terra, delivering the silent message of death and bearing witness to countless meaningless tragedies. The story of the DuPonts is but one of them. And while I have never sought it, the truth always reveals itself before my eyes. Such is my wretched fate. Shut up! This is very intense backstory for a random side character. Sir Dupont desperately lunges at the young man before him. The face of the messenger has become twisted in the struggle. He notices the young man pause for an instant, then grip the knife again. The point of the knife approaches his chest. This man must have felt the weight of fate, he thinks. A lifeless body falls to the ground. Blood, rose petals, and wind, and rain. Cut. Did you get all that, Abner? Think we might be able to use this take as is? Sure did. Is this really this guy's first time on camera, Steven? Red Eye said he used to be part of a theater troupe. Oh, a stage actor. Honestly, I'm more shocked by Dalton. I've never seen such a convincing performance from him in ages. Get up, Dalton, we're packing up, but if you want a drink tonight, I'm buying. Dalton? Why isn't getting up? Check on him, Shelley. It is as if the air has frozen. Dalton lies in front of the steps, not stirring even as Shelley dashes to his side. The blood bag in his suit pocket has already run dry, but blood continues to seep from his chest. Filled with a terrifying thought, Shelley reaches out toward the red liquid on the ground with a trembling hand. It is warm, sticky, and metallic. This is real blood. Why did Lucian do that? They said Lucian paused for a second. I feel like he knew it was a real knife, so... Why? That's a word. Entracta? All these words are not popping up on my pronunciation website. Oh, I guess the E would be silent. That makes sense. I forgot the basic rule of French. Entr'acte. Just entr'acte. Those joining the show, please act to your heart's content. Enrapture yourself in drama. Entr'acte just means intermission. Camera. Operators deployed on a camera's 4 adjacent tiles and facing it will continue a filming area in the direction the operator is facing. What? Lighting prop blocks filming area and requires 10 instances of damage to tear down. We've got like filming mechanics. The map's a film set, which is fun. Wow, so this is what a Wrankwood studio plate looks like, but these people are acting kind of weird. We're just beating up audio technicians? When outside filming area inflicts nervous impairment. The place is making me restless. Let's hurry up and collect intel. Is that a camera over there? It seems like we could use it. I'll point the camera towards you and record what's going on here. Because that's useful, I guess.
And to be killed. To do battle. Far too many plays have been pinned on these themes.
Wow, so they don't do nervous impairment when they're in a camera. I never imagined it could weaken them.
See those on the stage, knowing nothing of their fates.
Tired prop technician. Look, there's lighting props for locking the camera. Something in the way. Sounds like a job for me.
for business. Water delivery!
I like the background music too. Very dramatic.
Fret not, and may this end as swiftly as can be.
We've got enemies coming from outside the camera's range. I can change the camera's direction.
Alright then.
Wow. This is cool, actually. It's hilarious that we're just beating up film studio staff. Like,
Mission accomplished. I love commanders that lead us to victory. Just like you, Doctor.
so we're gonna want to be aiming cameras at places, and some enemies are gonna try and block the camera, huh? Rehearsal day. A dagger as heavy as your heart. Memories that shall never fade. A fallen corpse. These are all silent invitations. This is not an event with like characters that I can like. And unless someone shows up, the only person is Phantom, and I don't have Phantom. Well, I do, technically. I actually remember that I did get Phantom at some point in the past year, I think. But not going to use him. Unless Shalem shows up, but I also don't have him upgraded, so I'm not going to do that either. So this is just, this is a free-for-all event. Voice act the cat, please. But the cat has voice acting. They got a real cat to do it and everything.
All right. Try to keep up. Let me know if you can't.
So... we'll just, you know, just continue. Most of this team is fine, I suppose. Not sure who I want on this slot, so I guess we'll just see what happens as time progresses. Not like we really need characters right now, anyway. This is the first level. We've concluded that Dalton's death was an accident. The medical team is taking his body back to central Wrankwood by short-haul transport. They'll report the incident to the police. Shelley has double-checked at all the props just in case, so let's take a little break and pull ourselves together, and we'll resume shooting in the afternoon. Well, thank goodness that was the scene his character dies in, because that means they don't have to find a new actor. Or change the script. That soon? Is there a problem? Cameras and film can be replaced, but we're talking about a dead man here. We've only just wiped up the blood. How the hell did he go looking for a prop and end up with a real knife? Well, he was drunk. And no one checked it. Which is gonna be criminal liability. Did someone trick that washed up drunk of an actor into looking for a lost prop himself, or did someone put it in his hands on purpose? Hey now, let's not get carried away here. Sure, the old man was drunk and late to the set all the time, but it's not like he had any enemies in the crew. Why would anyone go that far? Besides, it's just an ordinary knife. There are plenty of them lying around in the crew kitchen and the convenience stores, even our own homes. Yeah? Maybe someone just mentioned it in passing to Dalton and then he... All I'm saying is that it's suspicious, okay? Then why don't you ask Dalton yourself, Miss Detective? Look, I know you're all shocked at losing a co-worker. I feel the same way, but there's something even more important we should be doing, or be worrying about. We don't have much time left for the shoot. The film is more important, don't you see? I'm sure you haven't forgotten that this studio plate is kept separate from the nomadic city. While it's still controlled by the central command tower, the film crew gets direct authority over certain functions, allowing us to drive it outside the central Wrankwood. And once the lease ends, the studio closes down, and the plate returns to on its own. But more space means more costs. According to the contract, extending the lease will result in an expensive penalty, which will be reflected in all your paychecks. As the producer, it's my job to act in everyone's best interest and ensure the film crew can function. I agree. So do I, as both the lead actress and investor. Miss Detective did remind me, though, that someone must indeed answer for this. Prop Master? Yes, ma'am? It was your responsibility to manage the props, and you've clearly neglected it. Even your intern was on set before you. I'm sorry, ma'am. Apologies won't cut it, darling. You're fired. I suggest looking for a new job before our plate gets too far from the city, and whatever you're about to say, save it. You're getting off easy, and you know it. You're in charge of the prop team now, Moira? Oh, okay, Moira was the intern. I thought they fired Moira. Me? Oh, could you leave with your former boss, but I trust you're smarter than that. As for you, Stephen, it's time to get your act together. We both agree that the death of Lady Dupont lacks a strong ending. You were supposed to submit the final script for those scenes last week. The shooting is almost caught up with what's written. I have my hands full directing, okay? This crew doesn't exactly inspire confidence, you know. So you still haven't found the inspiration? Yeah. It's your own original script, darling. Your baby. It deserves the very best ending. That's my biggest concern as well. In the end, which of the Rockefeller boys kills Lady Dupont? Where? How? What are her last words? The ending will determine the quality of the whole film. She needs a good, proper death to kickstart the revival of my career in Wrankwood. That's the only reason I've poured my entire fortune into this project. God will come find me. What? Oh, in literary criticism, we often say that inspiration is like God descending upon the author, using him as a vessel to write about death and rebirth, destruction and hope. I've never heard that. Anyway, don't worry, I'll finish the story. Good. Then you're dismissed, so get to work. Miss Stone, Miss Stone. I need to talk to you about something. It's important. I know what you'll want to say, Shelley, but now's not the time. I have to go check on Lucian. This is his first film and his first day on set, and he just murdered someone. And something this serious happens. I can't have him running away on this now, can I? As for whatever you're thinking, you're overthinking it. I'm in charge of the whole prop team. Oh my gosh, congrats, Molly. I mean, it's a shame about Dalton. May he rest in peace, but still, I'm happy for you. I've been working here in Wrankwood for way longer than you, but I'm still stuck doing backgrounds while you just got the chance of a lifetime. Life really is like a box of chocolates, huh? Alright. First movie reference. How many of those are we gonna get? That's because you always put up so much of yourself into your work. The art director isn't comfortable letting you handle more. But I'm just a girl from the Pioneer Zone who's good with her hands and came here looking for a job. Can I really do this? If the producer says you can, you can. She's never wrong about people. Your sister will be happy, won't she? You came to Wrankwood because of her, right? You gotta tell her you've been promoted to prop master. Can't be that. I mean, I don't know what I imagine prop master is just a logistical job. Just keep track of things, order things, have things ready. Like, it can't be that difficult. I'll call her after we clock out. Miss Stone put her trust in me, so I have to do this right. That's my girl. You're already sounding the part. I bet in just a few days, you won't even have time to watch horror flicks with me anymore. TP. Stop walking in front of me, Shelley. You already checked the storyboard 3 times and the equipment 5 times. I swore to the producer I wouldn't lose another set of cameras. Now can you stop glaring at me like that? Do you think it was really... What was that? Speak up. Do you think Dalton's death was really just an accident? Doesn't it seem strange to you? Don't know, don't care. I've lost count of how many times I've had to work overtime because of that has-been got lost in a beer keg. Good riddance. He wasn't like that 5 years ago. No shit. He was the top of the world, starring in Greta and Steven's next big thing. How could I forget about that when we were both there? That's the weird part. I saw a lot of familiar names on the staff list during the plan meetings, and when I saw your face, I got this eerie feeling like we were back 5 years ago, witnessing that young actress's death again. Doesn't it all seem a little similar? How so? One was a fall, the other was a prop mix-up. You're overreacting, Shelley. I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. Now I remember. Dalton was the one most responsible for the accident. Judgment has come. Someone came for him. Just stop already. Stop scratching your arm and stop coming up with this nonsense. I told you. If what happened still bothers you that much, go get therapy and stay away from the set. We're just ordinary Joes shooting crappy movies for a living. Nobody gives a flip about us. Shelley? Do you hear me, Shelley? I hear it. I hear it. Something's coming. Coming for us. Teenage Lucian. Man, this year is the era of young versions of the operators, huh? Picture the position and angle of the stab in your mind. Near the bottom right of the abdomen is a gap between vital organs, rich in blood supply, but not immediately lethal. You can feed off the blood of others and let it herald the climax that is to come. Oh, and you can move the point of the knife up and penetrate the thorax. The lungs are fragile and offer no resistance. Your target will drown both his own blood and your animated monologue. Raise your dagger, boy. Think back to the segments we've rehearsed. You've done well. There's only one step to go. Stab. Let the point of the knife know how it feels to stir the organs and sever blood vessels, and let it listen to the sound of the beating heart. Are you afraid? How ordinary. Whoa. A pink leopard? With a prehensile tail. Second character, because Gavial does it as well. So I guess anyone's tail could be prehensile. I've always wondered about that. Not just in Arknights, but like in general, because you have like tails aren't inherently like that. Some animals have it to a varying extent. But I wonder if you were a human with a tail, even if the tail wasn't originally meant to be that, could you consciously figure out a way to control it because we're smart enough to think about that sort of thing? Like, alligator tails aren't meant to do that, but Gavial can do it. Is it because she can just train herself to do it, or is it because the tails in Arknights are just like that? in my personal projects, when I've had things with tails that were fully sentient, I was like, it wasn't designed to be that way, so they don't have that control over it. That was the decision I made in the past. But it is something I have thought about a lot. Troop leader. He's not afraid. He just doesn't understand. He's still not willing to practice stabbing. He hasn't spoken a single word since he took up the dagger. Whoa. Very pink. Go. Prepare for tomorrow's performance. I will instruct him myself. I see, understood. Do you find the dagger heavy? Yes, but its weight does not come from the metal, nor the ornaments. It comes from your heart. Do you understand? The boy's hair covers his eyes. He nods in silence. White Flower does not realize that you've learned so quickly. You're waiting for her to provide answers she cannot give you. Listen to me, child. The troop leader holds Lucian's little hands in his own. His smile is warm and gentle, but his iron grip permits no refusal. Lucian can feel his stiff fingers begin to relax. Forget the technique that White Flower's been trying to teach you. You have no need to imitate any form or any method of stabbing. There is no dagger without blood on it, no crossbow that is not fired. Just hold them. They are not props. They will tell you what to desire. Let them guide you. Do not doubt them, even if they point you towards someone you never expected. A friend, a lover, even yourself. Perhaps even me, standing before you now. You have no hesitation. Stab. Give it a try. Shake said, try it. Jake said, try it. And you and I, what roles are we playing? If we are forgetting the techniques, then forget the characters and the script as well. They're simply the medium of theater, not theater itself. Lucian grips a knife. The troop leader lets go of his hand and kneels in front of him so that their gaze are almost level. But we're too close to each other. Are you afraid you'll hurt me? It's all right, child. Forget even that feeling. You will immerse yourself in theater and touch upon its beauty. Gazing at the troop leader, Lucian finds himself overcome with doubt. Is this really the first time he has seen the man? He does not understand what he is saying. He begins to doubt whether the feline before him even exists at all. Lucian can feel his own heart throbbing. The heartbeat never lies. The heartbeat knows the answer. How should he ask it? The troop leader smiles, encouraging him wordlessly. The answer is obvious. Without hesitation, Lucian thrusts. Did you feel it? Lucian's hands are trembling. He feels them grow weak, almost letting go of the dagger. The troop leader has not moved an inch, not even a flicker of expression. Lucian is certain his knife found its mark in the man's body. He heard a sound, felt the pain that should not have belonged to him, a strong, willful pain. He had been silent since he came to the troop. Now, though, the pain makes him want to sing. This is your first lesson. All stories leave behind only certain emotions, or... The troop leader pauses. Lucian casts a questioning glance and meets those golden eyes. A bond so tight that it cannot be broken. You're a natural actor. You should study with me. Think about it, and then come and find me. I will never be an obstacle to you, Lucian. Lucian looks down at his hands. The blood on his gloves has been washed away, but he remembers the feeling of taking Dalton's knife out of his hands. Fascination, revelry, the complex emotions he felt when he was taught to use a dagger for the first time. You forget complicated assassination techniques. Ignite the ego with intense emotion, until all there's left is two souls tearing at one another. Let life converge upon the knife of truth and falsehood, and bestow upon the target the perfect ending, death. Come in. Lucian. Madam Stone. You look pale. Are you all right?
Ah, the parade's here.
When were the seeds of this tragedy planted?
Che posto stupendo.
May the Lord bless us.
Zealous Extra can only be blocked inside the filming area.
Soon to tell. Why the rush? The road to the afterlife is crowded enough.
Alright. Oh, they're carrying one of the... I don't know what those are called. The scene, like, tablets?
The road to the afterlife is crowded enough.
I'm sure I knew what they were called at one point in my life.
Soon to tell. Why the rush?
My foe has 3 choices, and the enemy 3 hardships.
our friends joining us for the first time, if you're here for exquisite Yunese calligraphy or rare Sargonian treasures, I suggest you save yourself some time and leave now. This here is a script auction unique to Wrankwood, where unfinished ideas, drafts, and their associated copyrights are up for sale. As such, unlike traditional auctions, where anything put up must have its authenticity verified, we offer no guarantees as to the value of the items. Whether it has marketing potential or artistic value, whether it will become Wrankwood's next timeless classic or a forgotten flop, that is for you and you alone to decide. To protect the intellectual property of the items on auction, you are asked to put away your terminals and return off any recording equipment. And without further ado, allow me to introduce the first item. The Death of Lady Dupont, a story of love and hatred taking place in Colombia involving two blue blood families in changing times. Bidding starts at 100,000 gold certificates. Wow. 100,000 buckaroonies for some random script? Who wrote it originally? $100,000. We have a bid for 100,000 from the gentleman in the back. 150,000 from the pretty young lady on my left. Anyone else? 150,000 going once. 150,000 going twice. 600,000. Why would you boost it so much, dude? Miss Stone, are you here to ruin my auction? Placing such a high bid for the first item will only make the rest of it seem like an afterthought. I have no interest in slowly inching up the price. I simply bid what it's worth to me. I understand that it's your style and to gamble lavishly on scripts, but think of your finances. Didn't quite a few of your recent films flop? Are you sure it's wise to spend so much? Damn. I can afford your fee. Smack the hammer of yours, old friend. You have a rather talented young man here, and I'm eager to have a conversation with him. Whiskey, please. No ice. Would you like one too, my friend? My doctor has advised me to refrain from drink. That accent, are you from Sargon? Interesting. That stern, sullen expression of yours. Like some sad boy. Cannot be more Victorian. Sargonian. I have tread the sands of Sargon. King's Victorian, but I was indeed born in Victoria. You switch between accents at ease and languages at ease, and your accents are flawless. But from what I see of your habits, those aren't the only two countries you're familiar with. I've been to Bolivar, Syracuse, Latanya, Rimbilliton, and now Wrankwood. One of those is not a country. The entertainment capital of Terra. Pleasant weather and lots of sunshine. The perfect place to shoot movies. So what brings you here? Research, pleasure, or perhaps you're like everyone else who came here to seek fame and glory. Most of them end up at the extras market, fighting over bit roles to make ends meet. I'm looking for someone. I've tracked their shadows across my lands over the span of many years. Oh, who? I know all the film crews, whether they work downtown or on the nomadic plates. Maybe I could be of help. That won't be necessary. I see. Fair enough. What a shame, though. If there is nothing else. My name is Greta Stone. I'm a producer here at Wrankwood, a rather well-known one in the industry, if I might add. I took you for the son of some noble or a film school student who came to try your luck and was hoping to invite you to join my film crew. Everyone who comes to the Wrankwood script auction tends to have a passion for artistry, and I must admit you have a rather unique aura about you. I was once an actor for a small theater troupe in Victoria. I knew I was right. You were born for the silver screen. But I suppose that's all moot if you have other business to attend. I guess I'll be going home empty-handed. And I see the script. Of course. Ugh. Not happy about that. This is a terrible script. You paid 600,000 certificates for this? This rough draft is just the starting line. I'll give it the time, manpower, and money it needs to become the masterpiece that will leave its mark on cinema history. And I guarantee that you'll shine even with just a minor role in a single scene. I also wouldn't worry about your little health issues. Wrankwood has special protections in place for infected actors, so long as you pay for proper insurance. You may call me Lucian, Madam Stone. How does she know he's infected? Either A, like he's not actually wearing this outfit, and so he's wearing some outfit that does show he's infected. Or it's on his face, or supposed to be on his face, but there's nothing there. Or I guess maybe she knows what the monitor is? Maybe. I will consider your proposal. Let me apologize again, Lucian. This was your first time working on a film, and you signed the contract without careful consideration, or after careful consideration. You deserve to experience the joy of cinema I promised you. But who could have imagined such a terrible accident happening on your first film shot in Wrankwood? I'd understand if you need some time to process things. I'll have Shelley reschedule our next scene. But I'm afraid there's no way to cancel your contract and leave the cast now. The plate has already moved beyond the range of short-haul transports and won't return until the lease expires. I'm not leaving, and there's no need to reschedule. Are you sure? Trauma like that could easily affect your performance, let alone your daily laugh. I'm no stranger to surprises on the stage. Performing on stage like you're used to definitely has more unpredictability than in front of a camera. Still, they're just plays. Plays, perhaps. The mysterious and elegant creature once again shows up by Lucian's feet, rubbing herself against the feline's calves, seemingly oblivious to Greta's presence. Are you sure you don't need rest, Lucian? I wouldn't mind letting you enjoy Miss Christine's company a while longer. She's looking forward to the next part of the story. As am I. You're much calmer than I was about this than I expected, but I suppose it would be tactless for me to say anything more. Then I'll see you on the set tomorrow. The mysterious and elegant creature grooms her fur, then gazes at Lucian as though deep in thought. I like how we know its name, but we still refer to her as the mysterious and elegant creature. Miss Christine. Her two tails sway freely in the air, drawing blurry shadows. She floats up and orbits Lucian's shoulders, perhaps observing, perhaps savoring. Finally, the beautiful creature sits upon Lucian's knees, placing one paw on his forehead. Lucian feels a comforting warmth. Her tail turned into a heart. Cute. Tart. Astringent. Lucian hears a mysterious voice in the empty room. He does not bother looking for its source, instead gazing into Miss Christina's eyes, still as a statue. He knows she is projecting these words into his mind. Stealth and silence are your ways of avoiding trouble. You rarely talk unless necessary. Do my emotions taste that bad? It's not a bad flavor. I like trying new things, even if they're not always to my taste. What are you thinking about? That long-winded snake could not have incited such complex emotions. One of many memories of my life in the troop. The troop leader saw that I was a fast learner, and personally instructed me in the use of weapons. When I held that knife in my hands, I felt exactly the same as I did that day. Then I understand the spiciness and the sweetness of the aftertaste. The conflicts and struggles you experienced at the troop, those things humans call pain and tragedy, have been transformed into an alluring meal. I like it. Even after killing him, I've continued to search for him. The remaining troop cultists, the strange rumors in the remote villages, and that ostentatious mark along the way. I've been trying to verify a hypothesis that has been floating in the back of my mind. That perhaps he has come back to life. The story that the snake is filming has quite the strange flavor. One that is most addictive. Thank you for reminding me. While flipping through the script, I saw the twin-faced seal of the troop engraved in the gaps between pages. What seems coincidence for the characters, always deliberate design of the author, Madame Stone, seemingly unrelated to the troop, has become our guide. Yet I was still not certain. The riddles he left behind are mixed with lies and half-truths, as we know only too well in these past 10 years. That is, until Dalton died by my blade today, and my memories of the past were awakened by the familiar sensation. This is an invitation from him. I think we've come to the right place, Miss Christine.
A battle without an explosion or cheering makes me feel a little uneasy. Let's head back. A drink? Maybe next time.
So, he said he thought he killed the guy. Did that happen in Crimson Solitaire? And so the script, the Lady Dupont script has the seal of the troop. I guess the original version, the version she bought, and then but I'm not really sure what that all means. I know that I know one of the characters in Crimson Solitaire, I'm pretty sure, was like the playwright or something, like the guy who writes their stuff, and that, like, in and of itself, the scripts have like mental influence in them, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. But I'm not sure what that exactly entails exactly. Rehearsing a tragedy. Look, stepping to the beat of death, they begin walking toward their predestined endings. Forget your poor brother and elope with me, Lady Dupont. Come to your senses, Second Rockefeller. You heard the messenger. There is no Lady Dupont. That nobility, elegance, intelligence. Everything you love about me is but dust in the wind. I'm not worthy to be your wife. Not yours, nor your brother's. I'd still love you even without the Dupont name. It was your brother, the dead man, who had been using you all this time. You're an innocent victim in all this deception. Don't blame yourself. But the reception hall is filled with guests. Come to pay their respects. The name Dupont may be an illusion, but it would not be appropriate for me to leave this house right in front of them. Don't worry, my love. I know a way to leave this manor now, and to be free of these family conflicts forever. How? Have you forgotten? I'm a soldier. Look. I made this wire from materials I found in the storage room. It will take us from the balcony across the garden and into the forest behind the manor. Come with me to a place where wealth and status don't matter. It's a manor. Isn't there just a back door? Whatever. Oh, my dear soldier. Your methods are so crude. What if the pulley gets stuck? We would be hanging in the air for hours until someone finds us, or the rope could snap, sending us plummeting into the forests. Trust me, that's very safe. I would never let any harm come to you. Is it? I think I'm going to fall. No. Hanging wires, pulleys, falling. Someone just fell. Call the ambulance. Oh god, there's blood everywhere. Don't just stand there, Shelly. They do their own stunts, huh? That's interesting. Also, how high up were they? Surely they could have not actually been high up and just used camera magic to make it look like they were high up. She feels a chill run up her spine. She cannot move even her fingers. The sound of fraying cords pulls at her nerves. What on Terra happened? An accident caused by an aging wire rig, and the case is closed just like that? Someone died. No, the two accidents were not alike. Dalton died from a stab wound, while the actress from 5 years ago died from a fall. She hears that ominous sound again. Is the idea of them on this wire thing giving her a flashback to that actress who fell? She hears that ominous sound again. Where is it coming from? Shelly! Get away from there, the container's about to fall. Fall? Shelly looks up in a daze. The container hanging in midair is coming closer and closer, as though she is the one hanging in midair, and she is about to fall. As it fills her vision, a shadow appears next to her, and a pair of strong hands grabs her by the shoulder. Shelly feels the world spin. By the time she comes to her senses, she is standing on the other side of the set, safe and sound. Lucian, thank you. You can let go now. Oh, sorry. Not you. Moira, yes? You can let go now. Alright. Only then does Shelly see the small frame of the prop master grabbing the rope, connected to the container with all her might, her arms trembling and her face red. Only when Lucian repeats his words does she slowly release it. You're too on edge. It's my job as prop master. What happened? We should be asking you that. Sure, these containers are getting old and need to be checked to ensure the ropes don't get loose, but are you out of your mind? Not only did you interrupt the shot by screaming out of nowhere, you didn't even budge when that thing was about to fall on you. What could have spooked you like that? Is it your first time seeing a wire rig or what? No. Seeing Melody and Michael brought back memories of that fall 5 years ago. Go take a break, Shelly. You're getting in the way of the shooting. Leaps over a prop box. Rushes against Lucian. No, I mean, I was just spooked by that mysterious black creature running around over there. Sorry, please continue. Unhappily swishes tails. You know, Shelly's not half bad looking, but she's always out jumping. It makes me uneasy. A shame the scene was interrupted. I was just getting into my role. Getting into your role? You ought to be thanking her for interrupting that take, because I was about to chew your head off. Your delivery, your posture, your expressions. We've been at this for 2 months, and you've shown no sign of improvement. That rookie could act circles around you on his first day in front of a camera. I thought I told you to keep your private life off the set. It would seem Greta was wrong about you. It was a mistake to give you the leading role to a pretty boy who gets cast from the color of his ears alone, and 3 different roles in the same film, no less. You're right. Huh. Why the sudden modesty? Normally, you'd be coming up with all sorts of flippant excuses by now. I was just thinking about poor old Dalton. I don't have anywhere near your experience, and Shelley's close call just now has me left a little, shaken. Be professional. Accidents, failures, bad reviews. You'll never make it in Wrankwood if you let the little things like that affect you. The little things, like death. I could learn a lot from you in that regard. I heard you were standing right behind Mariana when she was swept the Wrankwood Awards, a film completed in just 28 days. And after that, coming home empty-handed and being ridiculed by the press, you went back to the set the very same day to continue shooting. I'd have quit ages ago if I had to compete with a superstar like that. And what's that supposed to mean? Oh. No. I didn't mean it like that. You've just been so calm in the face of Dalton's death that I wanted to know your secret. That's all, I swear. Secret? There's no secret. It's only because I don't know him that well, and had nothing to do with his accident. You, though. Why is his death affecting you so much? Were you involved in it? Maybe because he's got some basic, empathy. Could it all be a coincidence? Am I just imagining things? Should I see a psychiatrist? You shouldn't use Miss Christine as an excuse. Who's there? She wasn't where you said she was, and wouldn't have run around in a way that would disturb you. Please apologize to her on my behalf. I will. What is it you're so afraid of? What am I not afraid of? After the accident on set 5 years ago. I know that look, curiosity. I mean, I can tell you, it's not exactly a secret. You could find out with just a little digging. Her name was Laura. She was a rookie actress in Wrankwood who caught Greta's eyes, extremely passionate about her work, but knew nothing about the unspoken rules of the business. Dalton was already an alcoholic at the time, but he was still a big name. He decided to put her in her place by adding extra scenes that kept her in a wire rig for 6-7 hours, until the wires broke and she fell to her death. The way the blood spread out from under her, it's just like what happened to Dalton. Lucian looks at Shelley's arm. There are marks of self-harm all over it. Oh, signs of the impact the incident has had on her. Shelley pulls down her sleeves, her face filled with anxiety. But I can take care of my own problems. You're underestimating those problems. This will only become more frequent. At first, only similar sounds would trigger the hallucinations, but now even the sound of a chair being dragged can take you back into the past. Gee, thanks for the concern, Dr. Lucian. I've dealt with these wicked voices in my head for 5 years. I know them better than anyone. All I can do is outrace them, do as much as I can before fear and irrationality take over. Maybe Dalton's death really was just an accident, but either way, I have to eliminate any possible risk, any possible threat, to prevent that incident 5 years ago from happening all over again. Even if the threat is coming from the film crew itself. There's something else you're concerned about. Fred is hiding something. We share an office. I saw a strange document on her desk before the plate left. Central Wrankwood. She stopped me when I was about to open it. The riddles just keep piling up, but everyone I know who was there back then and went through the same thing would rather not bring it up. No way we can talk about this with each other openly. And now I'm being constantly interrupted by these voices and hallucinations. Pain can mitigate them. What did you say? I said pain. It won't rid you of your anxiety or panic attacks, but it will give you the time to breathe. Do what you really want to do, and solve the unsolved mysteries. The voices and shadows hide in tiny corners, impeding and distracting you as you try to find yourself. Pain is one form of resistance, though. Fingernails alone may not be enough. Disclaimer, Lucian is not a medical professional. The tip of a pen or a knife, with the proper application of force, any sharp object can be of help. The tongue, the back of the hand, the top of the thigh, those areas are more sensitive to pain. You're a weird guy, you know that. You sound like you know what you're talking about with hallucinations. Have you ever had to calm yourself like that? Who are you? Pain is a form of mitigation. Strange whispers, strange sights. Except, unlike Shelley, the problem he faces is not the fear of these things, but the desire for them. Lucian hasn't returned the Oranginium phonograph yet. Nope. He must be anxious. Didn't White Flower say he's had trouble sleeping? Too much superficiality in his ecstasy and anguish. He doesn't need more complex, more extreme emotions. It limits his performance. But he's young. Why the rush? It's been 6 or 7 years since Lucius joined. With his beautiful voice, he was considered a rising star at first, and the leader instructed him personally. But he's hit a wall now that he's finally in a lead role. Listening to those records won't solve anything. Emotions are an actor's weapons. The first step is to understand them. Master said your ecstasy and anguish are merely superficial. That imitation will only compromise your perception of more complex emotions. But how? Despair. True despair will cost you what you held most dear, yet at the same time, open a new door. You will listen to the whispers you have never listened to, witness everything you have never witnessed, and understand all the emotions that you never understood. You shall become drama itself, and the mirror of all things, like this. Lucian destroyed his own voice. Oranginium pours into the wound, and he is inundated in pain and despair. Blood. Oh. It's alright, Lucian. I'm here. What happened? Hoarse sobbing. Changed voice. So this is... Did you do this to yourself, Lucian? Do you remember my last performance, or rather, assassination? I failed. They called me a pathetic coward. No longer a favored son of the arts. I don't care about being isolated or scorned because my heart had already left the troop after that performance. But I stayed because we came from the same place, because we're friends. You promised you wouldn't be like them. Master was right. No. I'm scared of this troop and of who you are now. Did he like slice his throat with oranginium? Is that what happened? In any case, it'll be even more effective than you expect. I just hope I never need to use that trick of yours. This is post Crimson Solitaire. I would thought I mean, yeah, I don't know much about Phantom. He had that one vignette, but I don't remember anything of that. Like, I guess he's not I guess he's not very well still. I thought he would be in Rhodes Island.
My ears are shut.
But I guess
so when I stop,
he's not.
You stop.
I wonder how long he's been there, though. We've not gotten a date for this, by the way. We have no idea when this takes place, and I don't know if we know when Crimson Solitaire takes place, so I don't know when Phantom is a part of Rose Island. And how long he's actually been a part of it. Long enough that we went to rescue him.
You ran into me. Need speed possess you. Need speed possess you. You saw nothing.
Mission accomplished.
It is late at night. Muffled sounds and suppressed screams can be heard from the prop room, which should be empty at this hour. In the dark corner, the faceless faces of mannequins are illuminated by flashing lights. Tippy cowers onto a sofa, hugging a cushion tightly. The knife-wielding killer laughs maniacally, whose blade reflecting the bright white lights. In the very next instant, ah, yeah. Oh, what a classic. That's one of my favorites. It may be small budget production from 30 years ago, but it stands up perfectly well to today's films. Yeah. Watching horror movies really does help let off steam. I feel better already. Thanks for the invitation, Keep. A slasher film after seeing a slash? I guess whatever helps. Like, doesn't it feel better to just scream it all out? I know you don't mean to interrupt the shoot. You are just on edge. Yeah, I wouldn't say it solved my issues, but at least I can forget about them for tonight. What are we watching next? Oh, I've got everything. Horror Night has just begun. Hey, why so serious, Molly? You didn't like the movie? I was just thinking. That knife looked a little too thin. I think it'd have more impact with a more intricate design, like blood grooves on the sides of the blade. All work and no play makes Molly a dull girl. Take off the work brain already. Have you been spending too much time with Shelly? Hey there, mysterious lady. What you doing here? The beautiful creature, and elegant, gets between the two girls, stretches and sits in front of the sofa. Oh, clever girl. Looks like she really likes us, Molly. Wanna watch a movie together? It'll be scary, so don't say I didn't warn you. Huh? Oh, those terminals, was that Molly? Not mine. Sorry, I've gotta go. She looked really pale. Do you think Miss Stone is pissed at her about what happened today? Let's try to be there for her tomorrow, too. She looks really tired. Yeah. Alright, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy movie night. This one won Best Design. The background, props, and weapons are all really cool. The screen lights begin to flash again, immersing the two girls in another horror story. Neither of them notice that Miss Christine is nowhere to be seen. Jelly, I thought you were watching movies with Deep. What's the rush? They all just live on set, or like they said they have a plate, so really there's like there would be housing or something. The overly friendly man notices that Chili is clutching her terminal in her right hand. I see, an invitation to a date? Well, try not to look so grim when you're there. I'm sure he'd rather see a smile. It's none of your business. Your lips are trembling. You're cold. Or maybe afraid. You poor thing, you're still shaken about Dalton's accident, aren't you? Just like me. Don't worry with you. As a coordinator, I'm sure everything will go just fine. Come on, let me give you a hug. You could use the warmth. a bit weird, but oh, what do you mean, just like me? I couldn't hear an ounce of fear in that trashy pickup line. Have you completely forgotten what happened 5 years ago? Well, I haven't, because I'm not a heartless like you. And don't forget, you're not free for blame for that accident either. He was there 5 years ago too? The light abruptly turns on in the office on the second floor. On one desk, the papers are tidily filed away in folders, with hardly any sign of use. On the other, notices are scattered all over, covered in editing marks as though the writer is troubled by something. A tall figure searches around the desks, making not a single sound with his little lithe and nimble motions. Here. The shredder has been used recently. Lucian opens the waste bin and picks up several strips of shredded paper that feel different from the others, different from the printing paper normally used by the film crew. Trimount University. Environmental Monitoring. Signed, Greta. The unusual document that Shelley mentioned. Environmental monitoring. Is it about to become some sort of environmental story? He feels a slight push on his shoulder, seemingly an affirmation, but there is no one else in the room. Welcome back, Miss Christine. You've been taking more walks lately. Did something here catch your eye? This place is more interesting than expected. Indeed, I've discovered something unexpected myself. Don't overthink this, Shelley. You're only here to see who's playing this sick joke. You saw that number become invalid with your own eyes. It can't be. Billy tries her best to calm down. The fear and anxiety she had briefly forgotten while watching the movie now takes over again. Go to the warehouse and atone for your sins. The terminal screen glows in the quiet warehouse, showing the name of the sender, a name that is familiar yet impossible. Laura. Who's there? Stop playing games. I know I'm not hearing things this time. What the hell do you want from me? What do you know? There is no answer. The darkness swallows all sound in the old warehouse. He hears a tiny buzzing of electricity. The light suddenly comes on above a distant shelf. As eerie as it is enticing, Shelley cannot help but walk out toward it. Shelley. Laura, is that you? Once again, Shelley starts trembling. She cannot tell if the sound came from deep within the warehouse or from inside her own head. She walks forward in a gaze, as if she has returned to that set 5 years ago when the tragedy occurred. Shelley, I just got another scene and I need the wire rig. Can you prepare it for me? Arrogant, cocky, proud. How dare you? A fresh face in Wrankwood. Mr. Dalton said the director signed off on it. Dalton, well, Star at the time wanted to teach you a lesson, but you thought he was helping you. Are you happy with how it turned out? He's not here yet. I've spent hours up in this rig. My knees and elbows are probably bleeding by now. Can you please ask them for me, Shelley? I'm just a coordinator. All I can do is prepare the equipment in the rig. Make sure they're safe. Well, did you? How'd they get away with that one? Like, they put her up there purposefully for several hours, which is in itself, like, inhumane. And then she died. How did the crew get away with that one? How'd they not get in trouble with the police? Shelley arrives before the shelf. The light shines upon a black dust bag. She knows what is inside. Don't open it, Shelley. Don't. Inside is an old wire rig set. The hook and tether are badly worn and the harness is frayed. There are dark spots on the black cloth. Laura's blood. No, you can't possibly know. You're just a hallucination. You can't be alive, right? Pain. I brought a pen. Ugh. How pathetic. Why are you still there? Why didn't it work? Was the incident 5 years ago an accident or a murder? An accident. It was an accident. It was a tragic accident that only happened because Dalton had a grudge against you. Then why didn't you check my rig? Why? Because I hated you. I hated your selfishness and arrogance, and I hated that you made a mess out of the shooting schedule and affected everyone with your unreasonable demands. I was happy when Dalton decided to teach you a lesson. I was checking the wire rig as usual and noticed it was due for replacement. Then a little thought crossed my mind, what if an accident happened and you were gone forever? Wouldn't that be even better? Still in a trance, a hand pushes Shelley over. She hears the sound of coolant flowing through the pipes and frost cracking beneath her. She realizes that she had stumbled into the cold storage at the end of the warehouse. But what can she do? Bang on the door? Shout? She has no strength left to struggle. The fear is gone. She feels completely relaxed. Death has answered all her questions. Damn.
Leader, don't forget to invite me out for drinks on your tab, okay?
We're just gonna go through all of, like, is everyone gonna die in this? Would still be a lower body count than Pale C. Although ironically, both of them have like crazy guys with bright pink hair. Dramatique. Select a suitable crisis and admire the characters as they wallow within, their relentlessness, their desperate struggles. How could you not be fascinated by it? Oh, Shelly's dead. What? First Dalton, now Shelly. What's going on here? I said Shelly's dead. What's with that tone? Anyway, thanks for coming to inform us that another accident occurred. We're shocked too. Oh, the last person she met before she died was Michael. Don't make baseless accusations, Teep. She was watching movies with you and Moira. I heard all about it. Exactly. She was with us, but left partway through after she got a message. Wally and I didn't ask, and we didn't go after her. But maybe we should have. Her voice is changing. Which is why we need to find out exactly what happened. Well, I asked around, and someone saw her with you at the studio near the warehouse. I just bumped into her. She looked distracted. I thought she might have been feeling guilty. Feeling guilty about interrupting the shoot. So I offered to comfort her. How was I supposed to know she'd take her own life? Comfort her in an empty studio, just the two of you. Come on, babe, you know you're the only girl for me. Just shut up already. So, did you really kill Shelly? Two accidents in as many days? Unlucky stagehand. Why are they unlucky? And not just accidents, fatalities. All the film crews in Wrankwood. How'd I end up in this one? Just my rotten luck. Oh, come on. You can blame your luck whenever a can of paint gets spilled. Whenever a shadow dashes across the studio door, or even when the intercity net has a bad signal. Well, I say this is our big break. You even realize how much the tabloids will pay for a first-hand account from a witness? Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go make sure I remember every last detail of Chevy's corpse. Ugh, could you not? Yeah, could you not? And we still have work to do on set. You go first, Otten. I have notes to take. Abner says Shelley's been out of sorts for a while. Did the shock of Dalton's death drive her to suicide? Sounds plausible, but it's not much of a story. If there's much more of it than meets the eye, then I shouldn't have to worry about rent for half a year. Why would I be holding up mics just to make a neat? Huh? Didn't the medical team say she died of hyperthermia? Then what's with all the wounds on her left palm? Yikes, that's creepy. Is this some kind of occult ritual? Not a ritual, but a sign of a struggle against herself. Struggle? Isn't everyone saying she walked into the cold storage from stress? Could there really be a dark secret to this? Whoa! Lucian, where'd you come from? I didn't hear you at all. Lucian, you're kind of to blame for this. You gave her really bad advice. I suggested that she fight her hallucinations with pain. She had been hearing echoes of the past, but wanted to finish her work and bring this movie to a satisfying conclusion. She won't She wouldn't have taken her own life out of despair. The self-inflicted wounds on her hand are proof of that. This time, however, the pain was not enough for her to escape. That stubborn, neurotic, and paranoid Shelley actually listened to you, and now that's hard to believe. But it sounds like you knew her well, Lucian. Not especially. That guy could use that from the tabloid. Yeah, one of her colleagues said that she should harm herself before she died. Not a good look. Are you kidding me? I killed Jelly just because she rejected me, babe. Do you even hear what you're saying? Deep, you said she left because she got our message, right? I noticed her holding her terminal too, so whoever sent that message must have killed her, right? Oh, are you saying it wasn't you? I'd also like an explanation, Michael. The terminal was damaged by the cold, making it impossible to retrieve the logs. How cold is it in there? But everyone on the film crew was given the same company-issued model. There shouldn't be anyone but crew members on the contact list. And what's that supposed to prove, detective? It could just be as well be Greta or Melanie. They sure weren't happy with how she interrupted the shooting that day. Maybe one of them decided to give her a piece of her mind. Oh, Charlie and Greta are glued to the hip when working, giving them plenty of opportunities to deal with anything unexpected. And Melanie's a stickler for the rules and etiquette of the industry. She always respects her crew's schedules and would never disturb her coworkers when they're off the clock. The only clue I have is that she was with you right before she died. Look, I don't know who sent her that message either, okay? I just ran into her at the studio. Yeah, at that hour, wouldn't you normally be drinking with the girls from the art team or in Marion's room? Aren't you usually busiest at night? So why did you go back to the filming area, Michael? Oh, my lovely little birdie. Are you jealous that you haven't had the chance to drink with me yet? Well, you'll have plenty of chances once you grow up. Yikes. So you came to the studio for whatever unknown reason, where you ran into Shelley, who had left the prop room to meet someone else. If all you did was offer a few words of comfort, why won't you give me a straight answer? Did you really have nothing to do with her death? What, after working every stupid little odd job in Wrankwood, from cleaner to stagehand to set decorator to background painter, now you're playing at being a detective? Or did Jelly become an honorary member of your little sisterhood with Moira after watching a single horror flick together? Give me a break. He really won't give her a straight answer, though. Which is suspicious. Even though we saw what happened, that's still very suspicious. How many times has she yelled at you for those scribbles you call work? You're hardly friends. I don't see why you're coming after me now. And you think there's a culprit behind every accident? Maybe all those movies had rotted your brain. And all the 2 months I've known Shelley, she's almost never smiled or praised anyone's work. Sure, I got more criticism than anyone. I've had to put a ton of overtime to make a background we're both happy with. But I'd also seen the joy on her face when she took the film at the end of each day. And she and she could catch all the obscure movie references I snuck into my backgrounds. If she was in so much pain that freeing herself of it like that seemed like the best option, then I'll just have to accept that. But if someone else was messing with her feelings and taking away her chance to enjoy the movie she loved so much, then I'll never forgive them. I really did run into Shelly by chance. I went to the studio to see someone. See someone? Can anyone collaborate that? It was me. Molly? Molly? Michael came to see me last night. Oh my goodness. Were you close with her? I simply empathized with her pain. She needed to stay lucid, so did I. A mysterious curse, where love turned to hatred, which should sell better. So where were you last night? The second floor office. That's where Shelley and Greta keep their important documents. What were you doing there? Solving a puzzle. Anyone see you there? Miss Christine. I suppose to take the word of that creature who's always following you around, she doesn't even talk. Come on, don't look so pissed. I saw you perform opposite Dalton the other day. I know how good an actor you are. You could tell me anything and sound believable. But to tell you the truth, I don't even care how Shelley died. And I wouldn't tell the police even if you were involved. Heck, getting your name in the tabloids might even make the cops less suspicious. Tons of people read them, but no one believes a word they say. So how about you cooperate a little? The puzzle you were solving in the office? Trying to set a trap for Shelley? You're not worried that a murder occurred on the plate? Hey, this film crew's got no shortage of grudges and scores to settle, and how else am I supposed to make a living? You think there's any money in being a camera assistant? Even if the answer might threaten anyone's lives. You sure talk big. But I must ask you to keep this a secret. Of course, the tabloids will pay good money for it, so why would I give away my golden ticket? Lucian leans towards the camera assistant and whispers the hidden truth in his ear. The look in the assistant's eyes turns from excitement to terror. What? The Forte's screams echoed across the warehouse. His notebooks and pens fall to the floor. The other staff, still cleaning up the scene, look at the two of them disapprovingly, but only for a moment until the terrifying message reaches their ears. A catastrophe's about to hit the plate! Oh, that's what the environment was? That would make sense, environmental monitoring. Which is terribly convenient, because I bet the police won't show up because there's a catastrophe in the way.
My ears are sharp, so when I stop, you stop.
I've got it all figured out.
Picked out your bait yet?
Splendida giornata questo. Nothing can mask the scent of despair. Son tuttore, why the rush? The road to the afterlife is crowded enough. You can't hide your fear.
Uneasy designer, afraid to face the camera, takes reduced damage from the front, inflicts nervous impairment on blocker when blocked. Wow, we've got a directional character. It's been a while since we've had one of those.
No one can see me.
I could camera it, see, if I need to.
Don't better watch your step. So much needs why the rush. The road to the afterlife is crowded enough.
No one, you stepped into my domain.
But this will keep you quiet.
Mission accomplished.
Miss Stone, is it true? We're headed straight toward a catastrophe? Even if we're outside of town, shouldn't we be getting warnings from Wrankwood's intercity net? Why haven't we gotten anything on the terminals? Well, those times I lost signal weren't just my bad luck. Someone sabotaged our comms! Enough with the baseless speculation. Baseless? I found a few strips of paper in your office. When you put them together, they form a catastrophe forecast for Drymount University and a storyboard. Signed by you, Greta Stone. What are you planning? Let me see that. No one told me about any of these new scenes. Aren't I supposed to be the director of photography? Why do you need to set up cameras at the edge of the plate? There aren't any sets out there. Wait, I get it. What the Ford, Greta? You all play on this. Why did you hide it from us? What the Ford? Calm down, Abner. Maybe she just didn't have time to update you on the new schedule in the chaos following Shella's death. You're still defending this lunatic? He wants to get the plate close to a catastrophe to film it, putting all of our lives at risk. The furious cameraman smashes his equipment to the ground. I've had enough of this shit. I'm leaving this place now. As impulsive as ever, Abner. Real persuasive coming from a damn lunatic. How much of your own money did you put into this to make up for the box office losses of that movie 5 years ago? You're counting on this one to your comeback after all those failed investments? So if this film flops, are you gonna use Dalton and Shelley's accidents too, the same way you used that girl who fell to her death? Calm down, Abner. I see you've been closely following my career, but what about yours? How many films have you worked in the last 3 years? This is the first, isn't it? Sloppy, short-tempered, unprofessional camera equipment is expensive. What if the film crew around would even give you a chance? You didn't even make it as a freelance event photographer. You want to leave? Fine by me. I'll even waive the contract penalty for old time's sake. But where do you think you can go, Abner? Does it matter, worse comes to worse? What, you leave town, change jobs, spare all those poor camera lenses from your abuse? Say whatever you like, swear as many oaths as you want. If that's really how you feel, why are you even here? Sir, are you leaving or not? Yeah, but like even if he couldn't get like a good job like that, I mean, he still wouldn't have to pay for being infected or potentially dying. But also like there's a lot of insurance cost for being infected in Colombia, so Abner does not pick up the equipment, nor does he leave. He stands unmoving in silence, caught between his life and his past. Have you calmed down now? Look on the bright side. If we do finish this movie, maybe you'll win a few more rewards for best cinematography. Feel free to reject me once the offers start to roll in. Dream as big as you want, Greta. I stopped dreaming 5 years ago. Now, these 2 latest accidents have reminded some of us of the tragedy we've experienced together, and led others to be taken in by half-truth rumors. So I'd like to make this chance to lay everything out on the table for the sake of our cooperation on the rest of this project. Most of the crew here worked with me 5 years ago when an unfortunate accident occurred due to Asian equipment. A young actress Laura was killed. Feel free to look up the police report. Everything is out in the open, and I have nothing to hide. But the only connection that incident has to my decision to film a catastrophe is that it taught me a lesson. What we lack is not skill, it's courage. Of course, by no means will I disregard your safety. Before our plate departed Central Wrankwood, I've invested expert catastrophologists at Trimount's University. I obtained a detailed report and tested the data on the plate's navigational system multiple times. The plate studio will keep a safe distance from the catastrophe. Access to the emergency escape land boats will remain unrestricted. Any staff members who flee for their lives is in danger, or who feels their lives is in danger, may use them at their own discretion. And I will be the last to leave this place. If there are no further questions, dismissed. Not you, stay. Miss Stone, I won't apologize for telling everyone. No need to be anxious. I just wanted to know how you got the documents. Like I said, I did it myself. Don't lie to me. You have no talent for it, and I have no time. I'm obliged to protect the identity of my informants. Disturbing the peace of the studio is a violation of the 2nd and 5th clauses of a contract. Would you like to see the outcome of that reflected in your bank account? But there are exceptions made under exceptional circumstances. It was Lucian. Greta casts her gaze across the crowd and scattered equipment and sees him standing outside the chaos. The feline receives Greta's cold gaze unperturbed and gives her a nod. You said Michael came to see you last night. Yeah. But we kept going after Shelly left, didn't we? We watched the Yanni's Zhangji movie next. Wait. Come to think of it, you did leave the room for a little while. Michael sent me a message in my terminal. He said he was waiting for me in the studio because he had some important questions. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have left in the middle of our movie night. Please, don't be mad. I'm mad, all right. Pee-pee. I'm mad you didn't ask me to come with you. Huh? What if Michael tried to assault you? That sleazebag wouldn't know morals or self-restraint if they hit him in the face. Or what if he was frustrated about the shooting getting interrupted and wanted to take it out on you? You're like a magnet for bullies. Hey, I don't bully girls. Yeah, right, you're an asshole to even Marion, never mind other girls. Even the kids see right through you. I wanted to ask you to come, but he said I had to come alone. I've been in a few film crews. I could guess it was some kind of prank. I didn't want you to get caught up in it too. Oh, Molly. I've been in Wrankwood way longer than you have, and I know way more jobs. Next time you meet someone like that, just tell me and I'll help you think of a way to get back at them. Alright. Well, what now, detective? With Moira's testimony, can I take it that I've been cleared of suspicion? Maybe it really was a coincidence that he ran into Molly. We saw how he was when she left last night. Like she wasn't all there, right? Yeah, maybe she was at her limit. Oh, but... Thank you for testifying on my behalf, Moira. I know it took courage. After all, Teep might even be more protective of you than your actual sister. Speaking of which, is she still working as an actress? If she's as cute as you, do you think you could give me her number? Or maybe I could help her land a role or two. Seriously? Even after getting accused of murder? Come on, babe. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. Whatever. Don't change the subject. You still haven't told me why you were looking for Moira. Yeah, I want to know too. I think they deserve to know, Michael. Moira, don't... He asked me if there was a way to sneak off the plate. Why would he ask her, of all people?
Over already? Your victory doesn't need to be embellished by my music. I'd much rather perform for you a piece inspired by that cloud passing overhead.
Ah, Doctor. Yes, some things never change.
All right. Perfect time, truly. That's where we'll stop. Got some heavy topics in this one, my goodness. Bit of a classic movie set murder mystery. That's not so much a mystery though, because presumably it's just troop nonsense. Although, what does it have to do with Laura and 5 years ago's? Unless Greta's the producer, so did she call all the people who worked with her back then for this, for to kill them all for some reason? I don't know. And now we've got the catastrophe, which will isolate everyone. And she wants to film it. I mean, that's her excuse for that. Does the movie have a catastrophe plot point? Doesn't seem like it. Well, we'll be back with more tomorrow. So until then, thank you all for watching, and may the sands of time treat you well.